Here's some shit your dad should have taught you about love and relationships. Think about things you absolutely have to discuss before you get too deep into a relationship or, even more so, a marriage. Number one, finances and money. Money and finances are the leading cause of divorce in all marriages. So you have to discuss your spending habits, your saving habits. Make sure you're on the same track before you jump into something serious with that person. Core values, religion, and politics. I know these are taboo things to discuss, but you got to be on the same page because these are things that wars have been fought over. People have been murdered over. So make sure that you and your potential partner are on the same page. Future and your goals. If one of you desires to live on the beach somewhere and the other desires to live in the mountains, that might not work. You need to make sure that the two of you are going in the same direction and that you have similar goals. Not the same goals because you're two individuals, but make sure that you have similar life goals and you're both working together to try to get to a desired outcome that works best for the two of you. Children and parenting. It's amazing how many people get to the point where they're married or they've been together for a long time, but they never discuss whether one or the other wanted to have children. And then it comes up, causes a problem, and then guess what? Now we ain't in love no more. So you got to discuss that before you get too deep into it. Communication styles. How do you want to be talked to? How do you talk to people? How do you handle conflict? These are things that you absolutely got to talk about before you decide to get serious with somebody. Your personal history. Now, I know some people who believe that, well, if it happened before me, then it doesn't matter. But it does matter. All of it matters. Because every decision, everything that we've ever done up to this point has made us the person that we are. So we absolutely, before we get too serious with someone, definitely before we get married, we need to talk about our personal history. Because what's going on in the past may have something to do with what's going to go on in the future. Family and in-laws. This is going to be a tricky one for some people. Some people's families are super enmeshed. Some people don't mess with their family at all. You have to decide as a couple how you want to move through this, how close you're going to be, how much access they're going to get. Few things ruin relationships like outside influences. Daily life in the household. What do you want your day-to-day to look like? What do you want your routines as a couple to be like? How do you want your house to be kept? Are you both in alignment on those things? If you're not, I see trouble, trouble. Property and inheritance. Who gets what when things go south? And by south, I mean one of you. What are you going to do with all those things that you've built up over the years? What are you going to do with your life insurance? What are you going to do with your will? These are things you have to talk about because they matter. Last but certainly not least, your love languages. If my love language is quality time and yours is words of affirmation, the challenge we're going to run into is that most people love the way they want to be loved. But we're rarely asking the other person how they want to be loved. So make sure you discuss the love languages. Make sure you find a partner that's willing to meet you at yours and you're willing to meet them at theirs. And I wish you the best of luck on your romantic journey.